What's up, YouTubers? Doing another new type video for you guys. We're gonna do a video review on Generation Iron. Who has seen it? Who wants to see it? I literally just saw it last weekend, last Sunday at Rushback. Actually, I was back home in my hometown. I had to rush back to make a. You'll notice like a lot of theaters, they'll do like select showings, so they're only gonna play it at certain times. So the one I went to was at 6:45 and I had to rush back. I was watching the Seattle Seahawks in my hometown and I had to rush back to make the movie. We had a group of people from my gym actually go, which is pretty cool. Anyways, I will say that I think if anybody is a bodybuilder, has been in bodybuilding for a while, I think no matter what, you're gonna enjoy this movie. It's a type of movie that, you know, I mean, it's like any flick that you see that has working out in it or nutrition stuff in it, kind of gets you a little amped. Well, this is one that will definitely, you know, not disappoint in that category. But I guess if you want to get a little bit more critical about, you know, it's, remember too, guys, it's a docudrama. So a lot of things in it you can tell I think are kind of exaggerated. And what's funny is even, you know, after watching the movie, I think it really portrays Mr. Olympia Phil Heath like in a really bad light. It shows him as being like really arrogant, really cocky, thinking that he's like better than everyone else. And I think in a way that was kind of overplayed for the movie, because even I'm on the bodybuilding.com forums, and a lot of times I'll go into the I don't know if any of you guys go in the IFFB section. Anyways, Phil Heath was actually kind of like answering a lot of people's questions and stuff, which is really cool. And he even said that like the part, I mean, I don't want to give away all the stuff in the movie, but there's a part like where after prejudging, he like drives off in a green Lamborghini to kind of like clear his head or something. He said that was all kind of like made up for the movie. So, like I said, there's stuff in the movie that's kind of overplayed. I do just think that, and obviously, you know, Kai Greene, I would say everybody comes out of that movie loving Kai Greene. I think he's the most, as far as that movie, the character in there that you want like more footage of Kai. You're gonna come out of that movie saying they could have just made a Generation Kai Greene and it would have been probably maybe more interesting than that whole movie of all the rest of the guys. But my biggest thing, I just think that, because obviously the end of this goes back and follows seven Mr. Olympia contenders, you know, preparing for the 2012 Mr. Olympia, which, you know, everybody's going to this movie already knowing who won, what the placings were if you follow bodybuilding. But I just think that, you know, in the end it's showing a bunch of footage of like Phil and Kai because they were 1 and 2. I just think that if they're going to be the sole characters, and obviously this is supposed to be kind of a sequel in a way to Pumping Iron, which focused on Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno, I just think that they should have focused more on Kai Greene and Phil Heath, as opposed to trying to fit in a bunch of characters that you just barely touched the surface on. I mean, no offense to, you know, there was guys in that movie like Hide, the Japanese guy, Ben Pakulski. I mean, his stuff was interesting because it was kind of like, it reminded you of like Ivan Drago from Rocky, you know, with all the scientific lab stuff that he does for his training. But I mean, it's just they barely touched on those characters, and so they weren't that important to the film. Whereas, especially in the end, whereas, you know, like Kai and Phil, leading up to the biggest, you know, Super Bowl of bodybuilding, I just felt like I wish they kind of would have just kind of focused more on those two, as opposed to trying to fit in 7 or 8 different characters into one film. You had a lot of like scene jumping that you're sitting there focusing on. You're getting really into like a scene with Kai. All of a sudden it just switches over and you're going and you're following Ben Pakulski. It's just kind of random how it kind of, the documentary kind of just jumps around from like bodybuilder to bodybuilder. The transitions weren't that good. But like I said, overall, guys, I mean, this is your one chance to kind of see. It's very rare to see a bodybuilding type movie on the big screen. So I will say that yes, I think that it's worth it to go see. I just think a lot of people might come out of it like I am, where you kind of were like looking for more. Like you wanted a more deeper, you know, insight to Kai Greene, maybe a little bit more of Phil. It just doesn't portray him as such an asshole like it does in in the video, because I really don't think that that's really Phil Heath. I think he actually is. I mean, yeah, he may be confident, but I mean, hey, he's won 3 Mr. Olympias. Who's not going to be confident and a little bit, you know, cocky? That just kind of comes with being a champion. You know, like you expect to win when you're on top. When you're on top of your sport, there's nothing wrong with predicting you or thinking you're going to win. Who trains for? You don't train for second place when you're training for the Mr. Olympia. You know, so I understand or can relate with you know, with Phil Heath on that. But again, guys, just wanted to give you my take on it. Like I said, I think that if you're a bodybuilding fan, I mean, even if you don't follow pro bodybuilding, I still think that any person that loves going to the gym and working out would enjoy this film. So if it's playing, that's one thing that sucks though. It's only playing in select cities. So I was fortunate enough to have it play in my city. So hopefully there's like a list. I think if you go to Generation Iron, there's like a thing that if you put in your zip code or city, it'll tell you what theaters is playing at. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the movie review. Take care.